Hello, everybody. My name is Connor Vagel, and as always, I'm going to be bringing you some League of Legends action here. Today, I'm joined by Austin Beal. Austin, welcome to the broadcast.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. I know I was in some broadcasts last year for League, so happy to be back this year.
Absolutely. And as you guys can see, as we get into draft here, a little bit of a lineup change for the Huskies to start off this one. Brian wasn't feeling well throughout the week, so with that being the case, NIU does have Beast Fridge jumping into the mid lane here. Shaco started off the bans for the side of NIU. Remember, this draft was conducted in draft lul, so these may not be the order of the picks that we saw in the actual draft, so don't worry if things seem like kind of odd as to why there was a ban for a role, maybe. But yeah, Austin joining us as a special guest from our Overwatch team. So very happy to have you as well. And special thanks to our production team, including Ethan Noodle Nguyen, who is helping us out today as well as each game throughout the season. We've seen the draft already, and I have to say there's a pick here that I personally enjoy, and it's not for NIU, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be very sad about casting my personal one trick here,
Mhm.
as NIU picked up the Orn for the top lane. That was in the final rotation, so um, that you know, when we see some additional top bands, that'll make sense why. Jax was also second to last rotation for the side of Miami. The Belveth was their first pick here, so Champ is pretty fun. It it's interesting. We'll have to see how they want to play it as they go through. Fury picked up the Vi, Victor for Beast Fridge, and then Kugert was put on the Zillion. So continuing with that, so far a lot of team fight presence for the Huskies. That Orn and Vi definitely going to be able to layer some of those ultimates and lock down some targets. Beast Fridge going to supply some damage on that Victor. Whereas on the side of Miami, so far we've seen a couple of split pushers and an Enchanter in the Zillion. Lord Bonk Bonk going to go ahead and grab the Hui for the bot lane. And I answered with an Ezreal first pick here. So, not necessarily answered, I guess. The Ezreal was the first pick, and then it was answered with the Way. And I did save that support pick for last rotation. That was the Renata Glask. And then on the side of Miami, they saved their support for last rotation as well, picking up the Rel for Phantom 8214.
I'm excited for this one. I think these are some interesting comps we see out here. I mean, looks more or less familiar from the side of NIU, and a very interesting comp coming out from Miami. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens on the Rift today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at it, I was kind of pointing out as we went through the draft, this is interesting for Miami in that that's a couple of AP carries, and you don't necessarily have any ranged AD champions on the side of
Hmm.
Miami. So the DPS in terms of physical damage is going to be a little bit lacking, but the DPS will definitely be there on the magic side, or at least from range. With Belveth and Jax, you're going to have plenty of DPS physical damage anyway, but
Hmm.
um, those two are both going to look to side lane. So we'll have to see how NIU answers this one. I know there's been some discussion about how this one might play out. NIU doing a nice job throughout this week of having some talks about how they wanted to play the game, knowing that they are on a two-game slide so far, but against two of the strongest teams in the conference with Buffalo and Ball State throughout the last couple matches. Miami also sitting up there undefeated, so also a very strong team. But realistically, NIU getting to what on paper should be a slightly less strenuous part of their schedule. So we'll
Hmm.
have to see how they can do as they gear up for the playoffs here, coming up just about a month and a half from now, in the beginning of April.
Yeah, it comes up so fast, creeps up on you in the season. I know. I heard them talking about how hard these past couple of weeks have been, but I'm excited for a big turnaround for NIU, and I think they can definitely pull it off.
Absolutely. And guys, if you were watching the Overwatch match last night here on the channel, you might have seen in the chat the new coined slogan from our esports community ambassador Eli. Um, he's coined the slogan "Every game is winnable," and so I think that's the mantra the League of Legends team is taking going into this
Mm,
one and throughout the rest of the season. It's just that
mm,
every single game is winnable. You just got to believe it is. So we'll
mhm,
have to see how they're able to take that to heart throughout this one, and we'll have to see how they play this one as we're just about a minute and 15 seconds away from the start of game number one.
mhm.
Do you want to take a
That's a good
moment to
one.
the? Oh,
So
go
I was
ahead.
just saying that's a good one from Eli. I didn't know that was there, but that's a good one. Every game certainly is winnable.
Yes, and yeah, we'll we'll have some off broadcast chats about it as well here, you and I, Austin. But
Sure.
yes, I like it.
Yeah.
Do want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Turtle Beach, the official gaming peripheral sponsor of NIU Esports, and also want to give a shout out to Ethan. I know he's been hard at work at just finishing off some of those touch or putting some finishing touches on the broadcast here. Um, and so today you're going to see the debut of a slightly updated version of the overlay. So
Ooh.
we'll have some team colors in there and everything. So uh, excited to show off that one and show off the cool work. We're going to go ahead and get in game. So we should just be waiting for it to load on either side of the channel. But at that point, we'll get you guys some League of Legends action here between NIU and Miami University in Ohio.
Oh, I already see all five going top on the side of NIU. One of my favorite things to see as I'm watching. All five headed certain direction, top, bottom, around the jungle. Love to see it.
Absolutely. And we see that. Yeah. Oh, there it
Mm,
is. Yeah, that's nice.
that looks really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, they changed up the runes here, so you guys can see them there. Looking at the side of NIU, we're going to see that Grasp of the Undying on the Ornn, Conquer for both Vi and Ezreal. Uh, we are going to see the Summon Airy for both the Beast Fridge's Victor and the Renata Glask of Otter. Whereas on the side of Miami, it's going to be Final Boss of Ohio running Lethal Tempo on the Jax. Conqueror for the Belveth of HHH, BTX. I think I'm just going to call him BTX moving forward because that is a lot of
Yeah.
H's.
Hmm.
That is a unsealed spellbook for the Zillion, uh, Summon Airy for Hui of Lord, and Phantom 8214 going to be running the Aftershock on this rel. As far as summoner spells go, pretty standard. Well, even more than standard. We got 3 TPs on either of these teams, so both these teams looking to
Mm,
be very proactive in the side lanes. And we do see that Belveth starting with an early invade. Now, this is an interesting start because I'm personally watching this start. I've never done a double camp or a double, the normal camps start. I
mm,
typically go straight from the Raptors to the buff. But this is
mhm.
an interesting way to start that invade. Um, Definitely have the damage to do it. And now Fury should find that this is an invade. And actually, with this sussed out, knowing that they're sitting on a ward, Otter's going to be here as well. Flash going to be forced from BTX, but it won't matter as that's going to be first blood over to the Huskies as Fury and Beastbridge and Snark all able to roam over and find that invade happening. And they'll be able to grab the kill off of it. So nicely done by the Huskies to have vision and just punish that invade.
Yeah, great timing too. There was a ward over by Raptors and it actually expired right before Fury was walking across. So that Belveth had no idea what was coming.
Absolutely. And now it's just a little bit more of a vertical jungle styling where we're going to see the double red side clear from the Vi, the double blue side clear from the Belveth. Fury needs to be a little careful here. Uh, Belveth is showing up, and that's something that's really important about Belveth is that levels 2, 3, 4 are pretty much her strongest point in the game in that she can duel much more strongly than most champs can. And
Mm.
in this, NIU will be forced to back away from that. Ornn also forced to recall and teleport back to lane. And that's about what you can expect from that top lane matchup, as it's just going to be a matter of Ornn trying to stay healthy enough to get into the fight. And now Kuger going to be forced to flash. NIU is going to answer. Beastridge is going to find himself up 2-0 as NIU doing a nice job of ganking there. Vi finding the Q there, and with that, able to do just enough to get the kill here on towards the victor of Beast Ridge.
Able to defend the jungle as well. They spotted Belveth walking across Vision through the river, kind of rotated down for it, and Belveth forced to back off. Kind of looking like some rotation might happen as well here soon.
Yeah, NIU knows that the Belveth is still here. Renata also roaming up for this. That's going to be not able to land the stun. Will NIU be able to get any damage out of this one? No, as both the Rel and Kugert are here. Otter might be forced to flash, is indeed. Teleport going to be used here by Hui as well. Otter might be falling in the engage. The bailout going to just buy a little bit more time, but will still die. But NIU will be able to get everybody else out of this one. Only losing the flash there from Otter, whereas Miami forced to use a couple of teleports in that fight. So overall, advantage over to Miami, but NIU will take that and say, you know what, could have been worse in that fight anyway.
Absolutely. Also, an Ignite coming out on the side of Rel, so Sums in the bot lane are still over to the side of NIU with no TP and no Ignite. Maybe they can take a fight, get Snark playing here on Ezreal.
Absolutely. And looking at it as well, it is going to be a Hextech Drake already spawned. Now, one thing that is going to be interesting is to see how the macro plays around this one, because Belveth is definitely a champ that has a little bit of a different macro than many others throughout the game. Um, much less priority on the early Drakes, but super high priority on these Void Grubs when they spawn. And obviously they're important across the board, but Belveth wants to get those extremely quickly. Now, Fury does have a level advantage, is spotted on a ward here, going to be knocked up, going to be forced to flash as well, and BTX will take a turret shot. So it does look like NIU just going to have to give up these Raptors, or these Void Grubs, knowing that Zillion and Rel have both roamed for them, and the top lane prio is over towards the side of Final Boss of Ohio. Instead, NIU will just answer it with the Dragon, so they'll keep some tempo, but Belveth will be able to get the objective that she would prefer out of the two of them. And so, overall, still going to be an okay trade for NIU. They'll keep themselves up in gold by just a couple hundred with this farm lead across the... well, actually, the farm lead, not really there. Top lane going to be more farm heavy than anywhere else. Oh, I have frozen.
Me as well.
Yep, I am frozen. Okay, you guys are frozen as well. So yeah, this is one of those classic spectator bugs. Always fun. And we'll have to see.
Well, we can talk about what we saw right before that. I saw Ezreal TP'd in towards the Dragon Pit, so we were able to see a quick rotate after heading back for the shop. So with that, hopefully some lane pressure will be kept up, kind of keeping the advantage for NIU, even though they did have to trade out grubs like you had mentioned.
Hmm. And I'm going to go ahead while you guys are, or while we talk about this, I'm going to go ahead and try to view this and see if I can jump in and watch this match. Gonna try to restart that. But yeah, that rotation, NIU, like you said, able to secure the dragon, use the TP from Snark, and able to make sure that was secured. And so nicely done by the Huskies.
And we're back. At least
Awesome.
on our end, we're back.
Awesome. So let me make sure I'm lined up with you guys, and then I'll continue with the commentary. So, oops.
Looks like the wave got shoved out mid. Belveth looking towards the bot side. Zillion looked like he might have rotated, but acts like he's just gonna walk back, keep the fight. There is a nice bounty going over towards Beast Ridge on the Victor. He's been playing an awfully great start to this match. So see if he can keep that gold lead going. Got some farm lead as well. So hopefully he can make something happen with that. But Belveth is going to be walking down towards the bot lane. Snark's made aware. And Belveth is forced to back off. No tools to really get in at the time. Not a great time to go in. Is going to hover around, use sweeper, and then opt just for attack. So that's going to be Belveth resetting. Action in the top lane here. Swole Pingu taking a pretty nice trade. About even in the top lane right now. Final boss of
Yeah,
Ohio is going to go in. Looks like Swole Pingu will live it for the time being.
did end up using the ultimate there, does Final Boss of
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. So Swapingu able to live through that does mean that Final Boss is just going to have to back, and the Ornn going to just keep grabbing this wave. Uh, Down about 20 CS, Jack's going to be able to grab the sheen off of that one, so finding himself in a nice spot, whereas Ornn going to back just to grab some consumables. He'll grab the control ward to start and then TP back to lane. Now, we do see that Belveth is up towards this top side with the grubs spawning in just a couple of about 30 seconds here, if I'm not mistaken. And so NIU going to roam up pretty much everybody towards this one. So they do not want to give up those 6 grubs, and they will pressure on towards that objective, see if they're able to grab anything, as they are trying to maybe pressure out the Rel and the Belveth from this objective. And now
Great
Final
trade
Boss of
spot.
Ohio, yeah, about half HP, and so realistically, if he tries to walk towards this, the Call of the Forge God is available here for Ornn, so it will be a matter of that's going to be heal used early from the side of Zillion. That's going to be the flash forward. Call the Forge God going to be used, but that's going to be the Feat of Warfare going over towards NIU. They're able to find one. Now everybody is here. NIU knocking up Kuger. They'll find a second one over to Beast Fridge, and NIU up 2-0 in this fight. Swapingu will fall, and this will be the re-engage from the side of Miami. They'll be able to get this with the Rel, or with the Belveth, and Belveth will grab 1 kill of her own. Snark going to have to walk away, and it will be, in the end, the fight going 4-3 in favor of Miami. And Miami will also be able to grab the objective out of it, as NIU just didn't have the sustain to last through that fight. And once the re-engage happened, it was the side of Miami able to take it. But crucially for NIU, look at that Victor already 3-1-2. The Hui also looking at 3-0-2 himself. So NIU has their Victor starting to scale, and so they will be able to move through some of these fights as well, especially with that empowered E there. So as Victor does grab the empowered Hextech Ray, that will enable him to just force out some of these fights.
Yeah, I think one thing that I noticed during that last fight is NIU ended up taking a lot of damage from the grub. So that, was a little bit of uncalculated damage that wasn't necessarily being put out by Miami, but was definitely being felt by the side of the Huskies.
Yeah, absolutely. And Their NIU will grab the Infernal Drake, so they'll find themselves up 2-0 in the Drakes. Objectives are still even at 2, so nobody really grabbing feats quite yet. But looking at it as well, NIU, or the Chemtech Drake is going to be, Chemtech Soul, my apologies, is going to be the one here that we'll have in the game. And yeah, NIU will just go back to farming these lanes. Ornn, a little bit behind in terms of CS, as expected, with Jax being able to really just farm well. And so Ornn going to be more of a team fight style champion. We'll see who's able to get that first turret, and then the next objective is going to be that it's going to be the Rift Herald here. Rel kind of hovering around. Ornn doing a nice job of forcing the Jax out of lane. Otter going to find BTX here, and BTX not really going to have much of a threat on that one, so both will just walk away from the engage.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's red buff going over towards Zillion and Bel'Veth, so a little bit harder to work with in the mid lane, but nothing the Beast Rouge can't handle here.
Absolutely. And now it looks like NIU will elect to try to steal this on their own, or invade on their own. Rel roaming with the with the ADC with the jungler of Miami. My apologies. Kugert gonna use his passive there and able to get Phantom 8214 up to level 6, and will be able to grab the extra XP himself. NIU, nicely done, able to get Beast Fridge up to level 11 himself, so both of these mid laners have that second point in their ulti at this point. And now it really looks like Miami's going to try to grab first brick out of this one, as they're moving 3 up towards the top lane, while Hui is able to just continue to farm by himself down towards the bot lane as well.
Yeah, the CS in the bot lane is about even, but the kills for Hui definitely puts him at that big gold advantage we can see.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Snark gonna just dodge around that one. We'll get him down to half HP. Not able to land that Q, but it might not matter. This is gonna be the kill going over toward the Ezreal. Snark doing a nice job grabbing the solo kill. The feat for turret slaying will go over towards the side of Miami. So each team with 1 feat currently, but we're looking at the Rift Herald really going to be what decides that final feat. Again, we know that NIU hasn't put as much of a priority on that, although with some of this laning, you do imagine that maybe the move speed will be important to them. Snark just going to fall to the Bel'Veth. This will allow NIU to grab the objective here in the top lane, or in the top side of the map, you have to imagine, as they will start that up, and it will be Bel'Veth down towards the bot lane, not able to contest. And so feats will go over towards NIU. They'll be able to grab the upgrades on each of their boots, so at least a little bit of a value out of that one. Keeps the item value pretty similar, despite being down about 2,000 gold. You're going to have the Ornn for the additional gold value on all of his item upgrades, as well as the boots upgrades. So Huskies will take that one.
And with keeping the value kind of similar, we did see Snark starting to creep back into the gold lead that Hui has over him, with the 1 kill and 1 assist, really helping a lot. So hopefully he can keep punching away at this bot lane and make a big comeback when the team fights start to happen.
Huh. Okay. Again, I know that that BTX is at a much higher elo than I am, so this must just be something I'm not aware of. But interesting choice on the items here so far, starting with a Blade of the Ruined King on the Bel'Veth. not typically your first item on Belveth. Frequently, as that's going to be the Q used here from NIU. They'll TP in the Swolpingu to make sure that they can have the advantage moving towards this dragon pit. Will be spotted out by a ward, but NIU will be able to clear it. And now it'll be a matter of where can they find this Call of the Forge God? Will they be able to find the fight, as they are uh, Miami of Ohio, is currently without Hue. He's going to be able to join the team now. And NIU going to be using the Call of the Forge God here. It's going to be the engage coming through from Miami. NIU will have the damage on towards the backside. That's going to be one going through. That's going to be the damage as well. And we'll have to see, as this is now 3 for 1 in favor of Miami. But Belveth is going to be able to grab that objective. We'll have to see, as yeah, this could be the ace going over towards Miami. It will be the ace, but NIU will trade one more back, so they'll be able to grab the 5 for 2 will Miami, and now they'll also be able to grab the damage on towards this mid lane tier 1 turret. And you know what? I'm done questioning the Blade of the Rune King start. I know it's not the most gold efficient start, but sitting at 6-1-3, he can build what he wants.
Yeah, definitely showed a bit of strength in that fight, and great ultimate going out by Otter on the Renata, but taking everyone low. Unfortunately, nothing able to finish off the fight, but still a great fight done by the Huskies, and definitely not out of this game whatsoever.
Absolutely not. I mean, one thing that it puzzled me for a second, because we don't see Zillion all that often, so
Hmm.
I completely forgot about his ultimate. But yeah, the ultimate there being used, the Chrono Shift, able to keep the Belveth alive, really just meant that NIU couldn't prioritize the Belveth as their target in that fight, and so
Hmm.
I think that was really one of the game changers within that dragon fight.
Hmm.
Looking at
Yeah,
it,
I was.
we do see that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it was very close at the end. I was holding out hope that we would see uh, Beast Fridge or Snark come in for a heroic play and finished everyone off, and it evened out the gold lead in the bot lane, but eventually just puts Velveth even further ahead.
Yeah, and looking at it now, we did see that it is Voracious Otacon that has spawned. That has been that is on the map now. Does look like Belveth is starting that with the Zillion available as well. NIU does have vision of this. Now it will be cleared. Not sure if NIU is going to be able to find this. Just getting the vision is the side of Miami, as they're going to go ahead and just spot out that potential death brush. Now I don't believe that NIU will have a contest towards this Otacon, but we'll see if this is maybe a risky use of the Otacon here, as NIU able to grab the first charge off this Herald. Maybe we'll grab a tier 1 objective of their own. Indeed, they will. They'll grab that, and then they'll move away. They'll need to answer this Belveth on the side lane, as this has really been what Miami has been known for in the conference, and has been kind of what NIU had identified that they would be wanting to do here, and that is to split push, possibly even into a double split push, as this is going to be the Stride Breaker used by Belveth. So does have Stride Breaker and the Blade of the Rune King. Really only not having the Kraken Slayer off of a traditional build, so certainly getting more and more common as the build path goes on. With the double recurve bow, have to imagine that's probably going to be a wit's end off of this one. So uh, really just going to have more magic resist in this fight. We'll see when NIU might be able to find their next major team fight. Dragon spawning in just about a minute and 20 seconds. Um, NIU would love to grab that to put themselves on Soul Point, but Miami Phantom going to be spotted here. And Tway and Rel going to be trying to answer the Ezreal, and I pinging this a 1, so Ezreal going to be careful here from Snark, and just backing away from this. they do have Vi kind of trailing here. We'll see if NIU is going to find anything out of it, not able to do so. And they will just kind of try to clear out these two waves at once, as Miami keeping the pressure to try to have that first rotation to the Dragon when it spawns here in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, we're seeing, like we were saying, a lot of pressure coming from the side lanes. They have to keep an eye on this Jax, even though there's a lot of rotation coming from mid, and with Bel'Veth in the heart of the jungle, can't overlook Jax and his ability to just absolutely destroy the tower's bot lane.
NIU doing a nice job of just stalling off of this Otacon, in that, sure, the side of Miami was able to grab it, but no team fights being able to be forced here by Miami, so NIU will just elect to give up the Dragon here and allow Miami to even up the Drakes. But yeah, no false lives being used, and so NIU now going to take the Ornn and Vi and move those up towards the top lane. Look to try to grab a turret of their own up towards the top side. Almost certainly going to fall here. And this could be a 5-man dive on towards Beast Fridge here. He's going to have to be careful. He'll flash early, will step back into the Bel'Veth W there, and the ulti from the Hui does end up grabbing the kill. But will be NIU grabbing some more pressure here on towards the mid lane tier 2. Going to force the teleport out from Jax. Nicely done by NIU, able to actually save their bot tier 2 turret despite the kill going over towards the side of Miami in this one. Now we're not going to need to be careful to get out again here. And yeah, NIU might lose their support once again. We'll have to see, as Otter going to be chased, now slowed. First time bomb does land. And Otter going to be killed here, but we'll just delay this. And now Miami, though, going to be able to find, or at least look for the Baron as it spawns in about 5 seconds. NIU really probably not going to be able to test this one, considering that Vi is on the bot side of the map. But all tier 1s on the map have been taken, so both teams sitting at 3 turrets apiece. Ornn is going to recall, does have TP available. That's going to be the ultimate used by the Ezreal. We'll see if Vi's able to get over the wall. No, Fury isn't, and so that will just be the Baron and the kill going over towards the side of Miami. And NIU not going to be able to answer that one. We'll just look for maybe a 50-50 flip, but Miami doing a nice job of answering that and keeping the side of NIU off of the objective.
Yeah, it was tough. We saw Fury going for the punch to try to get over the wall, but Rel was very, very aware of that and was able to stop the punch from going out, which I would have loved to see Baron steal, but valiant effort regardless. And we'll see how much damage that the Baron buff will actually get for the side of Miami.
Yeah, and now Rel going to be moved to level 11 out of that one, so again, Zillion able to use the passive. Ornn is sitting at just about level 14. So sitting at level 13 right now. The Sunfire Aegis has been masterworked at this point, now level 14. So this is where he can start grabbing the masterworks for the rest of the team. And NIU now going to look for a fight on towards the Bel'Veth. Flash going to come through, going to be forced off. And Rel is going to be there to back up the jungler here from Miami. So NIU won't be able to grab anything out of that one, but will force that that fight. And now Jax going to be just getting bonked by the Ornn. Going to be taken pretty low, but not able to grab the kill is Ornn. And it's about how you expect that fight to go, unfortunately, with the tank versus split pusher. And now it's a matter of how many waves NIU can clear with this Baron buff, as they are going to be able to save that mid-tier 3 turret, at least for this wave. Beast Fridge going to try to answer on towards BTX. the Call of the Forge God going to be used? It will be dodge with the Void Surge here from the Belveth. That's one of the nice things about that champion is you do just have that Q to be able to dash around. And now going to be using the damage. The Voidlings are going to spawn. Going to continue to tank the tower damage, and now having uh, the Void Surge, I believe it is, the Royal Maelstrom, to be able to uh, just continue to heal and deal damage at the same
Hmm.
time. So
Yeah.
that's the fun thing about this champion when she's ahead.
Hmm.
Now able to actually build Hullbreaker, which is interesting building it this late on into the game. I know it's a little different than it used to be, but interesting build path. Um,
Hmm.
Certainly not a bad one, just
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. I'd say if I could read ahead to the next draft, I think Belveth might be getting a worthy ban on the side of NIU. Just a lot of pressure coming out here from Belveth. I mean, even looking at the gold lead, it's really hard to come back from that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that or a fundamental change in their play to not let the Belveth get as ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And now Chemtech Drake, number 3, going to go over towards the side of Miami. They'll put themselves on Soul Point, but at the rate this game has been going, with about a 9,000, about 10,000 gold lead over to the side of Miami. I'm not sure that we'll get another Dragon, but we'll have to see. As now we do see Belveth once again tries for the above and below, not able to land it, but realistically, not the biggest deal in the world if you're not able to land that because you just continue to dash around with the Void Surge. Flash going to be used. And now you will shut down the Belveth here with the Ornn. But in the meantime, they will lose the top lane inhibitor turret and they will lose the top lane inhibitor. Call of the Forge God going to be used. It will land towards Final Boss of Ohio, but Fury will be taking damage on the side. Ultimate used by Hui. That'll be the mid inhibitor turret falling as well. So all 3 inhibitor turrets have fallen for the side of NIU. This could likely be a second inhibitor going down as well, as I don't think NIU is going to be able to clear this wave. And yeah, that will be a mid lane inhibitor falling, and now Miami just rotating on towards the bot lane. They'll take that inhibitor as well. And so NIU will have to take 6 Baroned up waves here. Phantom going to be taken very low, but not able to be killed off. Final Boss of Ohio going to be... Oh, that's the ultimate from the Zillion. There'll be a kill traded back, and now the Jack's able to find a third and a fourth. He will, or a double kill at least, I should say, but will be the kills going over towards the side of Miami. NIU not able to answer here. Will be just Swolpingu left, and there's going to be the ace going over to Miami. 19 to 10 going to be the kill count, and gold going to be about 12,000 in favor of Miami. NIU puts up a valiant effort in game number 1, but not able to find the win. And we'll go to game number 2. And like you said, probably see some adjustments in the draft. You'd have to imagine that that giving that side lane prio didn't quite go as well as NIU had hoped, and so we'll have to see how
Hmm.
they want to answer to get some of that prio back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying, wouldn't be surprised to see a ban, but also maybe just playing a little more objective heavy. Maybe, we opted to give up grubs in the beginning, but just seeing what Belveth could do, we might have to rotate more members of the NIU team up there to guarantee if we're not going to outright ban the Belveth. But an early start did go onto the side of NIU. We can even see by the gold graph they were putting up a good fight right in the beginning, and a couple early kills just evened out towards the side of Miami. And like we expected, the late game pressure was just a lot to handle.
Yeah, and I do want to call out though. Um, this is one of those sneaky stats about Belveth that we're talking about the champion being so much of a problem.
Mm.
9.6 thousand damage to champions. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the damage to champions really isn't that high on the
Mhm.
champion, but what we're not able to show right now, and I'll pull it up for our just so that I can see here. Yeah, looking at it, um, Belveth was able to do 57,000 damage to objectives.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
where the champ doesn't necessarily put as much pressure on the champions,
Mhm.
but will definitely, if she's able to get the macro play that way,
Mhm.
to your point, just able to run down these objectives. So you do have to wonder if that's going to be where the ban goes for the side of NIU.
Yep.
We'll have to see when we get into draft for game number two.
Mhm.
Hopefully, NIU can make this a full length best of three series, but we'll have to see when we come back here in just a few minutes for game number two.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.
Welcome back for game number 2, everybody. As NIU did fall in game number 1, and as you see on your screen, and we are getting into game 2 champ select. Like I said, for game number 1, this one was done on draftable, so some of these bands might look out of order. That is just because they're going to pick their own champions here. I can tell you, in terms of the actual rotations of how this went, we saw from NIU ADC pick first. Then we saw a bot lane and mid lane pick for Miami. We saw the support and jungle for NIU, and then we saw the jungle answer for the side of Miami. We saw the support for Miami, then NIU's mid laner and top laner, and finally the top lane for Miami to end us off. So that Garen was indeed the last pick. The Ornn was NIU's final pick. Talia also coming in that second rotation. And yeah, NIU running back the Ornn Vi combo, but adding in a Talia this time for Beastford. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. Belveth once again picked here for the side of Miami, but changing their solo laners with the Garen and Galio to have more of that leave teamfight pressure there. So there's going to be the Hui once again, and now NIU answered that with, or opened the draft, I should say, for Snark with something we haven't seen yet this season. It was the Jinx. So we have both of the sisters in this match. And Melio here for Otter was a little bit of a different pick. Something that I'm still, frankly, I don't see it enough in solo queue to know exactly what the abilities are named. So I'm going to be running through and probably messing those up as I go. So I'll ask for your guys' forgiveness to start here as well. Looking at the Twitch chat, Lord MVFP. Wow, we got some NIU alums in the chat here. It is I, the Vagel Bagel. Kunzi, who is Jaker? Well, for the blind, he is the vision. For the hungry, he is the chef. For the thirsty, he is the water. If Jaker thinks, Kunzi agrees. If Jaker speaks, Kunzi is listening. If Jaker has one fan, it is Kunzi. If Jaker has no fans, Kunzi does not exist.
Amen to that.
Amen. And yeah, there's going to be the draft. Blitzcrank going to be the support pick for the side of Miami, so a little bit of a different composition, but still going to be pressuring here. So we'll see. Excuse me. We'll see if NIU is able to take game number 2 and force us to go to a game number 3 with a little bit of a different look here for the Huskies.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see some different play around this Belveth, but I'm excited. I think NIU can definitely pull it off. We got some interesting picks out here from the draft. I like the Talia, like the Melia. I think it'll be a nice mix-up, and then keeping the standard Vi Ornn out here.
Yeah, and I have to also wonder if NIU kind of looked at what went well early game and said, you know what, if we continue to, on the trajectory that we had for the first 6 minutes of game number 1, we can definitely take game 2. So props to the Huskies for, maybe running back some of the comp and what they felt was strong in game 1. And we'll have to see how that matches into some of these changes for game 2 from the side of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Arminus27, thank you for the follow. You guys have Ball State tomorrow night, don't you, for Overwatch?
We do. Yeah, we played Miami similarly to tonight with League in the same week. And then, yes, Ball State match tomorrow. They, I don't know the outcome of the score, but I knew they were putting up a good fight against Northeastern University. and we're looking to be the top seed in our conference. So definitely going to be a tough match, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. Make sure that everybody here tunes in tomorrow, 7 o'clock here on the channel. And then Saturday, League of Legends will be back with another match as League of Legends will be taking on Toledo in the Esports Collegiate Conference. And
All
that'll be
right.
at 2 p.m. Central. So lots of matches this week for you guys to enjoy. But the one at hand right now is NIU and Ball State, or NIU and Miami of Ohio in League of Legends, and that should be coming your way very, very shortly here. So just waiting on this to go into the spectator delay, and we're getting awfully close to that. So there it is. So we will get you guys into game as soon as it pops up for us. And all right. We'll take a look at the runes. There they are. As looking at just about both these teams going to be moving a little bit differently than game one, in that we do see for game two there is going to be a 4-stack for NIU up towards the, or 5-stack up towards the top side, whereas Miami going to look for 4 down towards the bottom side and potentially just have this Garen here. So we'll see if NIU is able to find anything. Depends on where Garen ends up moving to. Eternal Boss of Ohio. Oh, we do see a pause though, as Final Boss of Ohio moves towards the top jungle. Uh-oh. And Final Boss of Ohio's monitor turned off, so that's why we have a pause right now. So we should be getting that back in the game pretty shortly here.
I like the 5-stack top again from the side of NIU. Always fun to see.
Absolutely. And yeah, now NIU gets the vision, not able to grab anything off of this, as not going to find anybody. And so it is going to be NIU, though. Look who's left up towards the top side. That is the Melio and the Jinx. So NIU is going to opt into the lane swap here. And then spectator client freezes at 1 minute. Nope. There we go. Okay, we're back. Cool. Awesome. And yeah, so we'll see how these teams elect to fight this one out. Now, yeah, now Miami does get vision of this lane swap, so they're going to go ahead and try to swap back and answer this, or they want to, but we'll see if they're able to actually do so. Vi is standing on a ward, and this is now the invade coming from the side of Miami. And you're going to have to be careful. This is a Blitzcrank Galio and Belveth combo. We'll see if he's able to grab the flash out. Nope, doesn't even have to flash. Just going to walk away is Fury. And in fact, that was the leash there. So the reset did come through for that red buff, which will delay some of the clear, which in theory should even things out a little bit for the Vi here. And Beast Fridge just going to look to try to grab some harass back towards Belveth. Grab some damage on towards Kugert. And despite being in the 2v1 lane, look at this. NIU already able to grab level 2 on both of their top lane, or both their bot laners, as they've done this lane swap. And gives NIU the opportunity to just continue to grab this objective. Or this lead, I should say. Now we might see a fight in that jungle, as the junglers are kind of roaming towards each other. Fury, that's going to be the smite going through. Flash, not even going to be used. first blood will go over towards the side of Miami, as we did see BTX roam on in, find the invade. And like we said in game one, that is the strongest point for the Belveth, and so especially with being able to smite away the Gromp and take the advantage, it did allow the kill to go over towards Miami.
I think with that advantage falling towards Belvet, it's going to definitely hurt for Fury on the vibe. But a lot of good trades going out in other lanes. Galio being forced to back, Blitzcrank being forced to back. So a lot of pressure still coming out in the side lanes as long as Fury can kind of keep his pressure in the game as much as he can. Given a rough start here, I think we'll still see some good from the side of NIU.
I agree, and one of the things that we saw in VOD reviewing for this match is that uh, I think Final Boss of Ohio's preference is not, and I think all top laners this is true of, but is to not play in the lane swap, and so Flash, that's going to be Flash going through. Otter will fall in that one, but that is going to be Flash expelled by Blitzcrank, and the damage going through. Fury going to be just feared away, and so no gank potential there towards the bot side. No answers on the kills for the side of NIU. But yeah, one of the things we saw was that it's definitely not Final Boss of Ohio's preference to play into a lane swap. And so definitely looking for that additional pressure from the support. And while that does mean that Miami able to grab that kill on towards the Otter here, it does also allow NIU to continue to have this pressure up towards the top side.
Mhm. And a lot of damage going out towards the Garen. He's gonna have to back and just take a reset for his wave. But a lot of pretty even trades going out all across the board. But yeah, that jungle lead is a hefty one right now.
Absolutely. Like NIU is going to have the posture to be able to potentially start these or have pressure towards these rifts or grubs. Yeah, the
Mhm.
grubs when they spawn. Um, that should be just about 10 seconds from now. Um, both the junglers going to be up towards the top side for this one. And Final Boss of Ohio just going to take some damage. The Blitzcrank is there as well. Both the mid laners going to be available. Beast Fridge going to be stunned by Qgert. And pressure is towards the side of Miami here. They're going to start up the grubs. And we'll see if NIU is able to answer. Does look like Fury is just going to back away on this one once again. And again, it'll be the first set of grubs going towards the Belveth. And that is what the side of Miami is really hoping for. With the Belveth, that's what you want, and Snark gonna be caught here with the Q. Flash goes through. The shields are going to be enough. Nicely done by the Huskies, able to keep their top lane or their ADC alive, and now going to be teleporting in the Ornn to just lane swap this back. And NIU was playing for that first set of grubs, not able to grab it, and so it will be at that point that they just switch back to standard lanes. BTX going to move towards this dragon. Don't think NIU is going to be able to answer on this one either, so it will likely be both of those early objectives going towards the side of Miami. Although here's going to be an invade. BTX is here, but I don't believe they know that Otter and Beast Fridge are both here as well. NIU just decides they can't fight this one, and so they're going to have to allow the jungle camp to just continue to be stolen. Now a 30 CS advantage in the jungle over towards the side of BTX.
And it's interesting we see the lane swap back, the valiant effort put up towards those grubs, but it is a shame that neither objective looks like it'll be falling towards NIU, at least on this first round of rotations. But as long as they posture for the second grub or keep an eye on these other objectives, I think we definitely can't count them out yet. There's always a game to be played.
Absolutely. And actually, one thing that's interesting here is the fact that we do see um, the movement towards the top lane for Belveth. So it does look like they're going to go ahead and just, Miami that is, just going to sack the first Drake. And so neither team really posturing super heavily towards it. So
Hmm.
first objective, not quite taken in that, or second objective, I should say, not quite taken yet. And we'll see. NIU might be prepping a dive here towards the bot lane with Snark, Otter, and Fury all there. But no, it does look like they just decide to walk away from this one as the Hui is able to just clear the wave super quickly. And now
Indeed.
it's a matter of Ornn just going to have to try to soak this this top lane wave under turret with Garen constantly proxying. And overall, just constant pressure up towards the top side or the side of Miami. Hex Flash going to be used, though, by Garen. Didn't realize he also has Ghost to go with his
Mm.
Flash. And he's used... This is actually the zero interaction phase rush build. So this is going to be quote-unquote fun to play against, I'm sure,
Yeah.
for Swolpengu here, as that build is pretty much built around not engaging with everything and just ghosting away. That's going to be the kill going over towards the Galio. It will be the feat of warfare over towards the side of Miami, as we will briefly freeze again. And we get to just watch as the turret shot sits ever so close to hitting on Belvath here.
We might not know if it hits or not. It's a close one. I don't know if I can tell you if it is going to hit. Maybe.
Well, I mean, yeah, there it is.
Well,
Okay, so
there it
we're back.
is.
That's two. Actually, the shutdown goes
Oh,
over towards Talia, as that's two turret shots that do land. And now NIU has the member advantage here. The Super Mega Death Racket, oh, just barely misses off to the side here, as Phantom 8214 was very close to getting hit by that. Now, NIU notices that the jungler is off the map, so NIU should get this uncontested and even up the objectives 1-1.
yeah, definitely a bit of an interesting decision to, uh, whatever Belveth was trying to make happen, uh, dive in the mid lane, I guess, wasn't accounting for how much damage that would actually do. But yeah,
Well,
good
one
shutdown
of the
going over
things
to
that's
Beastford.
yeah, one of the things that's really important with Belveth is having your ultimate up at all times, and
Mm,
so I think what was happening there, because I've been guilty of this plenty as well, is that she thought that the turret aggro would stick with her teammate, and so she
mm,
jumped in trying to grab the Void Coral. Um,
mm-hmm,
Unfortunately, the turret aggro did not, and so then you're kind of just stuck because
mm,
you
mm-hmm.
can't move when you're grabbing your Void Coral. This was an Fury. That was
Oh,
maybe a bit of an aggressive play. Um, didn't know they were there, obviously, and unfortunately loses Flash and his life in the engage, and that's a frustrating play.
mm-hmm.
I'm
Absolutely.
sure he's not super happy about how that one went, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate for the Huskies. They will continue to just put some damage on forward. Nice flash to counteract the Belveth and Blitzcrank engage here from Beast Fridge, and so NIU going to be able to keep their mid laner alive. Now we do see the continued proxy from the Garen. Fury just going to try to continue to keep, just going to try to get the kill here. And this is, like I said, exactly what the Garen does. He just kind of runs around and refuses to interact with any of the champions.
Wow.
Dash comes back, nicely done by BTX to keep himself alive with the Royal Maelstrom, but nice, even better done by Beastridge to put so much pressure on towards this jungler of the side of Miami.
Yeah, all things considered, Beast Ridge is having a really great performance in both of these games.
Absolutely, and once again, I'm gonna see now another invade from Belveth, sitting 3 levels ahead. Fury might be. Oh, the above and below doesn't land here. Neither does the hook from Blitzcrank. So it will be NIU just continuing to try to weather some of this storm of pressure on towards their lanes, and now that's some pressure on towards BTX. See, yeah, Fury not gonna elect to use the cease and desist on that one, so not feeling like he can lock down the Belveth enough to do
Mhm.
the damage.
Yeah, probably a smart play, not knowing who could be hovering around that area to give some backup for the Belveth.
hmm And realistically, I think the side of Miami is really playing for to grab this early lead and just kind of starve NIU out of the game. NIU has an opportunity to get back in this. Galio going to be layering his ult back on top of this. Ornn going to be not quite falling yet, almost falling. Yeah, nicely done by Talia, keeping Fury alive here. Cougar going to grab the kill, though, as NIU kind of stepped back too far forward. That is going to be the kill going over of BTX, and NIU able to grab 2 off of this one. Just an aggressive play by the side of Miami, and NIU will punish. It will be a 2 for, or a 1, 2 for 1, but cross map 2 for 2, as off screen there we did see that Jinx did die to a fight in the bot lane,
Mhm.
and yeah, it is going to be just continuing to farm for both these laners.
Yeah, the gold advantage actually shifted back over towards the side of NIU for the mid lane. Beast Bridge up a decent amount of gold over the Galio here, but unfortunately the jungle gold lead just continues to go towards Belveth. I mean, I can't imagine how hard it is to try and get back in the game with the Belveth constantly in your face and Garen there to assist. I mean, it can only be so hard to finish your jungle camps.
hmm Now, Final Boss of Ohio will just run forward to grab this proxy. Garen healing so much that he'll just be able to survive this. Now, NIU does elect to just send everybody towards this to make sure they get the kill. That's going to be Garen taken low. It will be the kill going over towards Beast Fridge here. He's 3-1-1 on this Talia, so definitely in a fine spot here. Uh, the Infernal Drake is going to be the second Drake of this game. Fury might be facing pressure once again. Beast Fridge going to be here to help him out. That's going to be an engage on towards BTX. And now you're finding a lot of damage here. We'll see if they're able to grab the kill on towards BTX. They are not, as Swilpingu going to teleport in. Ultimate, oh, he gets silenced, so he's not able to use the second half of the Call of the Forge God, but NIU able to grab the kill on towards Fury here. Now, Cougar might fall in this exchange as well. Damage going through. That's going to be a second kill over towards in the extended fight. NIU still looking to fight this forward, as now the Jinx not going to be the one getting grabbed there. That is the Emilio. The kill goes over towards the side of Snark, and he's going to be excited at this point. Now, Garen is here. That's the flash ward, and the Stridebreaker used. That's the ultimate as well. Double kill over towards the Garen. Now, NIU does have Fury here. Will he be able to continue to fight on this one? Not able to grab it. It'll be a triple kill over towards the Garen. And overall, the long fight goes in favor of Miami, NIU looked like they had an advantage in the fight, but unfortunately just stuck around a little too long in that one and allowed the side of Miami to their members of the team back on the map.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one to see for NIU there. I mean, some great kills going out. Fury able to, it was almost the play that was needed to even out the gold advantage towards the side of NIU. But yeah, with that Garen walking back in, I mean that's just a lot of trouble.
Her ultimate up consistently, um, finding the opportunities to take that off of the champion when possible, or fighting around when it will fall. Swolpingu needs to be careful here. That is a ward that he was moving towards. Um, and NIU, likely the next fight going to be over that Rift Herald. Um, Actually, it looks like NIU just won't elect to contest that one. I think that's probably a wise choice. The side of Miami gets a lot of benefit out of it, but you have to imagine that it's probably much more advantage of a fight over towards Miami at this point. NIU kind of just needs to clear these waves out, and will elect to do so. Down about 6,000 gold, even though they're only down about 4 kills at this point. And Herald will be uncontested going towards the side of Miami in this one.
Yeah, I mean a lot of pressure continues to be put out here on the side of Miami, and I mean that we've seen the split pushing all game is just eating away at their resources. It's definitely a very tough thing to play into.
Absolutely. We do see that Ornn has gotten to level 13, so he has started getting the upgraded artifacts um, here for Swolpingu. Um, does have his own upgraded artifact, and then with the next level, will start being able to upgrade his teammates' items. Final boss of Ohio will hit 14. Just do a little bit of chip damage on towards the Ornn, clear the wave, and move away here as well. Next dragon, gonna be spawning here in just about 2 minutes 50 seconds. That is the Mountain Drake that we have for our soul here. And red team gonna spawn the Rift Herald on towards the mid lane. Uh, Miami will move immediately up towards this Voracious Otacon as it spawns. Actually, they'll move at least a couple of members of the team up there, but that's going to be Miami trying for a second charge of the Herald. They are going to steer it all the way towards the top lane. Just be able to reset here. And are you doing a nice job of playing carefully around Phantom, but that Q still, or that hook still does land. The ultimate going to be used here by Ornn, Call the Forge God, going to be on the backside. NIU nicely done, able to grab the 1 kill, but will they be able to re-engage? Phantom going to fall as well. NIU with a double kill on towards the Talia. Now that's going to be the cease and desist on towards the Belveth. NIU needs to be careful and needs to back away, as this is now, they do get the even fight, the 2 for 2, but Garen isn't there, and so he will go ahead and grab the bot lane tier 3 turret as well as the inhibitor. And that's something that we had noticed early on in some of these previous matches for Miami. Nicely done by Beastfridge, able to just stun the Belveth and and gets the punish here on towards the Belveth, able to get the kill there. But NIU will lose the inhibitor down towards the bot side in the extended fight. So while there's definitely a lot of value there for the Huskies, certainly some opportunities to for Miami to continue to build this lead, and they took advantage of them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing out of that was the Otacon was not able to be taken by the side of Miami, at least in that instance. They're drifting towards it now, but in the end, like we were saying, Garen did get the inhibitor. So, in my opinion, that's a better trade than the Otacon here. But it looks like they're going to be going for it shortly here, anyways.
You know, in one of my games recently, I had somebody say, if you take the inhibitor and you don't take the base, that's just free gold in the pocket of the team that whose inhibitor was taken. I don't know how much I agree with that, but
Mm,
if you're NIU, you look at that as a piece of solace here, considering that now you're going to be able to
mhm.
have Jinx farm that super minion wave. Um, and Jinx needs as much gold as possible. You want that to be the carry on this team, and so right now sitting about 1,000 gold behind the Hui. So we'll see if Jinx is able to continue to do that. But we do see that Beastridge on this Talia, one of the richest members of this team, actually the richest member of this team, one of the richest people in the game, I should say, and able to continue grabbing this. Now, this will be Beastridge just falling as the ultimate going to be used. It will be the recall, though, as the false death, or the false life, I should say, going to be used here for Garen, able to wait that out and just run straight at Talia and kill Beast Fridge. And you kind of knew it was coming. You could see they were definitely posturing for that, but unfortunately just not able to trade that back quick enough.
Mhm.
And now it will be Dragon going over towards the side of Miami. Does not look like NIU will be able to answer this one. Yeah, there it is. It's going to be taken here. And so Miami will put themselves on 2 Drakes, 14 to 10 the kills, but about an 8,000 gold lead still in favor of Miami. And now it's just, oh my. Well, I knew that they've been really trying to starve Fury of any farm. Um, I was pretty excited the other day in one of my solo queue games that I was able to pull a Flame Horizon in the jungle.
Mm,
Unfortunately, right now it's looking like this might be it's almost a 1.5 Flame Horizon. Could
yeah.
be very close to a 2 times Flame Horizon, which is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Um, how many stacks is that Bel'Veth at? Let's see. Ethan, would you mind pulling that up for the people at home? 94 is what I'm seeing for her stacks,
Yep.
which means
Yep.
that she's sitting at. And are you actually going to be able to burst her down? That's going to be the false life from Bel'Veth, and yeah, that champ. I mean, obviously, getting a nice advantage, but definitely playing a little bit. You want to say maybe a little bit cockily back, and
Hmm.
NIU gonna be able to find this flash forward. Final Boss of Ohio will be found with the cease and desist, and the shutdown's gonna go over towards Snark. NIU able to find the kill, nicely done. And Baron has spawned. Bel'Veth is back on the map, but the top laner for the side of Miami not gonna be available. Unfortunately, Fury gonna be found with the Blitzcrank hook, and so yeah, the rocket grab gonna land, and does mean NIU not gonna be able to contest this Baron. Um, Luckily, they may be able to prevent the side of Miami from grabbing it. That is, the enhanced item has gone over towards the Talia. We see the Seraph's Embrace masterwork. Um, Yuntal's Wild Arrows is the masterwork now for the Jinx, and now this is going to be the side of Buff or Miami. My apologies. Starting up the Baron, and likely going to get this one uncontested as NIU's jungler is just now getting onto the map again. There is the Super Mega Death Rocket, but you have to imagine NIU's not going to be just throwing that randomly at the objective. And indeed, they're not. Baron goes over towards the side of Miami, and about 10,000 the gold lead in favor of the Red Hawks so far. Uh, but only 4 kills separating these teams. So
Hmm.
NIU, there's a big shutdown available on the Hui, so you
Hmm.
have to wonder if NIU would be able to get the potential of a shutdown here.
Hmm. Yeah. Certainly would be nice. And I'd like to ask a question too. We got a question in the chat for you. Do you
Okay.
like pecan pie? Is asked towards you.
No, not a big fan of pecan pie.
Can't say I am either.
NIU. Oh, Lord Bonk Bonk gonna be able to grab the kill on towards Fury. Now this is NIU. The taunt does go towards towards
Oh.
Swapingu, and that was half of his health bar with the ultimate there from the Garen. Now NIU having lost the top half of their map, we'll see if they're able to turn this around. The Jinx gonna fall as well. Beast Fridge gonna be trying to trade something back. Will be not able to do. Well, that's unfortunate. As just 1 HP. It won't matter though, as this is gonna be the rocket grab likely used. Yeah, it's just gonna be Miami diving forward. They get the Baron, they get the base, and they get the series. So really quickly able to turn that from Baron to end. Unfortunate for the Huskies, as they will fall 2-0 in this one. But definitely looked like there were some areas that they had some prowess. You know, they had some
Hmm.
opportunities. Um, Looking at it, yeah, I mean, just like last game, only 6,000 damage to champions from the Belveth, but 62,000 damage to objectives. I mean, that is just the beauty and curse of the Belveth. The champion can definitely do some damage to objectives. Looking across the board, gold. This one, NIU wasn't able to find a gold lead in. Unfortunately, it did just continue to scale in favor of Miami. But
Hmm.
hopefully, NIU will take this as an opportunity for growth, and be able to move into this weekend series against Toledo, and take these opportunities to maybe continue to grow in the macro. And
Hmm.
I think they definitely have a chance here over the weekend. But
Hmm.
thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Austin, for helping me cast tonight's match.
Hmm. Happy.
And oh, go ahead, go ahead. So
Just happy to be here. Happy to support the Huskies and in every game we play. So, thanks for having me.
absolutely, absolutely. And anything we should have the viewers at home for in tomorrow's match against Ball State for Overwatch?
I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary. Big update going, um, and inviting Perks into the lobby, but will not be on for this week's game. So it'll be a tough one out there, but we're certainly going to give it our all and see what we can do.
Well, best of luck, and we will speak to you soon.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you to everybody for watching, and unfortunate on the outcome, but we will bounce back on Saturday against Toledo. Until then, I've been Connor Vagel. On the production has been Ethan Noodle Nguyen and Austin Beal from our Overwatch team. Austie125 has been helping out with the broadcast and the shoutcasting tonight. Unfortunate outcome is the Huskies do fall 0-2 against the Miami Redhawks. Um, but we will be back again on Saturday at 2 p.m. for NIU versus Toledo in League of Legends. And tomorrow night, special doubleheader edition of NIU Overwatch as the Huskies take on the Ball State Cardinals. That'll be 7 p.m. right here on the channel. Until then, I've been Connor Vagel. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.